All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another video. Okay, y'all, so this is a quick discussion video I want to do. Well, we'll see how quick it is. I just want to do this one because, again, it was in a live stream, more long, drawn out, because, I'm reading comments and talking with y'all. But I just want to get my points across, with this whole fanboy thing, specifically the Weili fanboys again. I want to address Zhang Weili fans and just fight fans in general and how it comes down to how you have to respect fighters. Respect your favorite fighter, of course, and respecting their opponent, respecting the fighters that you don't like. I mean, you don't have to like them, but you still have to respect what they bring to the table. And, that's what I want to talk about in this video, because some fans, they get so caught up in being a fan, specifically Zhang Weili fans. They go to that extent of discrediting another fighter's skills. In this case, Carla Esparza. They just continue to talk and trash a fighter just to make a fighter they like or they worship look better. Just to make a fighter they worship look better. But a fighter like Zhang Weili, she doesn't need y'all to do that. She doesn't need fans to do that, because Weili is working every day. And that's how you guys became fans over in the beginning, right? Because of her work ethic and her grind, not because she disrespects like you guys. She's out there training. She's working every day. She's training hard, and she's improving in every department to prepare for every fight, okay? And she does the same for every fight, and she's doing the same for this Carla Esparza fight, because she knows, unlike you guys, that Carla Esparza is a dangerous opponent, and she's going to be even more dangerous if she doesn't prepare properly. So for all you fans that just continue to diss Carla Esparza, understand that Zhang Weili is doing the opposite, because she knows that this is the first pure wrestler, like she stated. She stated in an interview a little while back. This is the first pure wrestler that she's faced, and she's preparing for that. Okay. Now, if she had that crazy mind state like fans, or she was just like overconfident, just downplaying the skills, she wouldn't be here right now. She would have never made it to the top. So when you talk about Zhang Weili's preparation and her learning her wrestling, yeah, she's developing and training in that, but she also knows that she can't surpass Carla's wrestling right now. Well, she's gonna come in with that mindset that she is, but she's preparing to learn those fundamentals and make that her game plan as far as becoming a complete fighter, to try to counter whatever Carla's bringing to the table. But it's not like she's just gonna go in there overnight and become this better wrestler than Carla. Now, she might very well be able to out wrestle Carla if her physical strength is playing a factor in this fight. If that plays a factor and she's be able to position herself, and incorporate her grappling together. And she can even just kind of maul and outmuscle her on the feet and just kind of ragdoll Carla. That could be her advantage, but you still got to understand Carla is slicker than y'all think. She's very much slicker than y'all think. So this is not going to be just a cakewalk. It could be, this is MMA. It could be a cakewalk for either fighter here, because they could see that opening right away on who, Carla could take the opening, Zhang Weili could take the opening. It could just work out that way, and boom, they could get, the fight to where they want it to be. But understand, Zhang Weili knows that Carla is bringing high-level wrestling and experience from day one into the UFC, whereas Zhang Weili, she's just really starting to put this Americanized wrestling together under Henry Cejudo's team, and she's going to use that to the best of her ability. She knows she just can't learn that overnight. Henry Cejudo's thing is to try to teach her everything that Carla could try in there and say, look, this is what she's going to do, so we're going to work on this so you can be better in certain angles and certain aspects of the wrestling game. She knows she just can't learn everything Carla, has accomplished and done throughout the years of her career. So she's going to try her best to outstrength her and outwit her in certain areas, because like I said, Carla is slicker than y'all think. Because you got to remember, look, here's some key points about Carla. Carla, she's relentless. If you give her space, she's going to go for takedowns. That's her main thing. She's going to look for takedowns, especially against a stand-up fighter. And when she gets the takedown, she latches on. She uses that momentum when she latches on to ride her opponent down or just land on top, or she'll keep turning them until she can get you into that position where she's on the back, where she's got you in that half guard, or then she can transition and get that side control on you, okay? So Carla, she's going to be looking for nonstop takedowns, and she's going to be looking for whatever opening with it. She's ducking a right hand, or she's grabbing a side kick. She's looking for all those openings. So Carla has that mind state already built in her, where it's takedown, takedown, takedown. Whereas you even seen Zhang Weili in the Rose rematch, she was still respectful. Like, she didn't just turn into a wrestler overnight, where she just had that Carla mentality where it's takedown. We're going to go in and take down. even Carla had that mentality 8 years ago when she fought Rose, because again, that's her style. It's wrestling. Okay. So Carla goes for takedowns, and she's going to do that nonstop in this fight if she's given that opportunity. And when she's on top, she has a strong advantage. Whenever she gets into that side control, she knows how to keep her opponent positioned, pinned by the shoulders. She can land those knees to the body that, sometimes the judges aren't counting, but they still do damage. She's all over. She's just controlling the leg. She's wrapping up one of your legs while she's landing a few strikes. Carla can do a lot of different things. People just underestimate her size, but if you give her that advantage and you're not good on your back, she could do that. Now, again, Zhang Weili's physically strong, and she has even wrestled with Tisha Torres, but hey, styles make fights, and Carla Esparza, she's defeated Tisha Torres before, so you just got to look at it these different angles. Like I'm saying, Carla, she's effective on top. When she gets a top position, even with Virna Jandiroba, she was never really in trouble of getting submitted, so she knows what she's doing. She's in control when she gets these top positions. And also, she can be dangerous on top now because of the increased strength. You got to give her credit. She has put on more muscle because she knows that competing at 115, she has to tack on the muscle to hang with these strawweights. She's not going to get taller, so she has to at least get a little bit wider and a little bit more thicker and put on, just a little bit of stockiness and making and to make sure that it's adding to her physical strength as well, so she can have some type of advantage in there. So, from now all the way back to her Tatiana Suarez fight, you can say that she is a stronger fighter now. She is a physically stronger fighter, I think. So that's another thing, Carla Esparza, I think she's definitely been working on. She's going to try to bring into this fight with Zhang Weili is, increased strength. Till they make an atomweight division, she has to make up for it, and she has to evolve with the division and try her best to hang. She's 5'1", and, she has to have something. She doesn't have the long reach, so she has to make sure that she even has physical strength, because that's what Jessica Andrade does, right? Of course, she's not as strong as Jessica Andrade, but, she has to make do for what she does have. Also, her distance management. She's bringing in that wrestler type of distance management where, she's all the way on the outside or she's right in your chest. She knows how to measure, and she knows how to kind of do that little skip step, and, she's looking at your chest, and she's watching to see if you're going to step in with a jab or if you're going to try to throw that kick, and then she's going to latch on. That's what she's looking for. So she has to have that little stutter step and that quick thinking to see what you're about to throw, how you're positioning your shoulder. So then, boom, she can know when to run in or know when to avoid being countered, so she stays way out. You know what I mean? Like, if you go back and look at the Alexa Grasso fight, she was doing that at Alexa Grasso. Sometimes she would come in with a right hand of her own, just to kind of soften Grasso up, and then, boom, she would go in for takedown. So she has to watch out against a striker. So, she knows how to measure that distance. And Zhang Weili, she's been working on that speed. She's got that Chinese boxing style. It's very dangerous. There's power in that right hand and the uppercut as well. Those thunders, those side kicks. So a lot of this she has to look at. So when she's completely on the outside and she can time Zhang Weili's kick right, one of those hard kicks, she can let that momentum keep going, and then boom, she can grab the leg and take Zhang Weili down. So that's another thing she has to look out for, just that distance management. She has that down pat because she's a lifelong wrestler. Okay, just gotta respect that. Also, the gas tank. Carla's gas tank, is up there. She's got one of the best gas tanks at 115. She can go the distance with these fighters. She can hang in there. She could take beatings. I know she was stopped by Suarez, but she stayed in there for the long haul. The worst she ever had was against Joanna, right? But if you look at all her other fights, she's hung in there with Claudia Gadelha, Alex Grasso, Calvillo, all of these fighters. She's been in there. Rose Namajunas, that was a boring fight, but it was a 5-round fight. So the gas tank is another thing that, Zhang Weili has to take seriously. She's got to take that seriously too, because Zhang, she stayed in there. She stayed in there for the long haul in the Rose rematch. Some people, we could argue that she edged the fight out, but in rounds 4 and 5, she kind of faded a bit, wasn't able to get off her back. Rose was just quick to take her down and just take her down in those last 2 rounds and keep her there in that position. It was kind of easy work for Rose at times in there. Of course, Rose is a little bit bigger and putting on a little bit more muscle mass herself. Not saying Carla could do that too, but Carla could do that. She could wind up doing that, and she has the gas tank to hang. So yeah, these are just some of the points I'm looking at. Just some of the points I'm looking at in a respectful manner to say, this is what we have to do. Like, Zhang Weili wouldn't need none of y'all fanboys in the corner, because y'all would be like, oh, you got this. This girl is crap. This girl ain't got nothing. But Henry Cejudo, his team, they looking at it like, okay, this girl, she's been wrestling forever. Okay, I know what she does here. I know how she does this. This is what we're going to work on to counter that. Okay, that's how they're looking at it. And that's how I'm looking at it. So for y'all people that say I don't know wrestling, hey, I may have not wrestled, but I know the mentality of these trainers. It's not like you fanboys out there that thinking this going to be some walk in the park. Again, if it is an easy fight for Zhang Weili, it's because she put in the hard work, and wasn't because she just disrespected a fighter. So y'all need to switch your mind states, because all the training that Weili's doing, with Henry Cejudo and her team, it's definitely benefiting her, because she's soaking that game up. But when you try to throw out all the years of wrestling experience that Carla Esparza has, it just makes y'all sound crazy. Like, why would she be training at this level then if Carla's wrestling before in the past and all the way up to now doesn't hold any weight? Why would she be doing this thing? That just doesn't make any sense. It's like you're trying to downplay the high school wrestling and how far she's taken that, even, just being able to incorporate wrestling into MMA now. Why are we discrediting all that? That's why she's a two-time champion. It was enough to make her win win the strawweight title 2 times, right? Again, you want to know something? I do know boxing. Okay, that's like thinking a boxer that trains, with all the Hall of Famers in boxing, like, oh, this one fighter, he can just automatically become a sensation overnight and beat a fighter that has years and years of experience on his own, right? Not with all these fancy trainers, but this fighter with years and years of experience, he's going to get beat by somebody who's just getting all the fancy trainers just off of maybe a year or so. Weili, she can definitely do this. That's because of her work ethic and her grind and her ability to soak up the game, but not just because of the team surrounding her. You know what I mean? She's going to have to actually take in what they say and actually have chemistry with them. She can go in there and dominate. I know that. I definitely know that, because I know one of Carla's kryptonites is physical strength, but she's actually been getting stronger herself. Not thinking, definitely not going in like y'all thinking Carla's an amateur. You can't think that way. It starts with finding her weaknesses, not going in and disrespecting and saying, oh, this girl's nothing, right? And it's like, yeah, because I was thinking the other day, I think I brought it up. I said, it's like if you have 2 boxers, one, that was just a subpar fighter. He's an okay fighter for a number of years. Let's say he's like 24, 25 years old, but all of a sudden, he gets Floyd Mayweather and just trains with him for like a year. You think he's going to just go in there and beat somebody that's like 26? Or let's say the guy's never really boxed before. Let's say this guy's never really even boxed, like just a little bit, but it was never his strong suit. But he gets Floyd Mayweather and trains with him for like a year, while this other kid who's 26 has been boxing since he was a kid. He knows the fundamentals in and out. No fancy trainers or anything. He just knows the game, has his trainer that he meshes with well. And, they just made it to a certain point of contender status. That guy right there will probably be able to beat the guy that Floyd Mayweather picked up for his 1 year, because, he's had so much more experience, and it's all about him just knowing the ins and outs of the game, right? Now, anything can happen, but I'm just saying this one here that knows and experienced boxing since he was 7 years old versus somebody that just maybe picked it up, you got to look at that. You have to look at it in that way too. You know what I mean? Like, y'all know exactly what I mean. I think y'all just fanboy too hard and just think that speaking negative into existence for your fighters is going to win it. No, you just got to believe in your fighter and just understand that, look, this is a hard game, and Carla Esparza can be a tough opponent for Zhang Weili, and Zhang Weili is going in with that mindset state to prove that she's the best by working hard, not by disrespecting like y'all do. Okay, so sometimes y'all be hurting y'all's favorite fighters more than bigging them up. So hey, well, some of y'all are little young punks anyway. So probably some of y'all just be trolling anyway. So y'all know the game. I'm sure y'all do. Maybe, right? But yeah, final thoughts. I know what Zhang Weili is capable of. I know that she has certain things that could really go in there and just wash out Carla. But when it comes down to it, Carla's really been improving. She's really been improving in the game. Maybe not at a fast rate as some fighters, But you got to remember, she's the one on the 6-fight win streak. And Zhang Weili, she's still 1-2 in the last 3 fights. Okay, I know the level of competition has been a little bit steeper, but still, that stands for something. And this could be a very tough fight for if everything's not covered. But guys, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Like I said, just had to get my thoughts on it, man, because y'all got to respect these fighters sometimes. Y'all just talk before you think. And I might not be fans of some fighters, but you got to respect what they do, even if they are fighting your favorite fighters. Combo Breaker 99, I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.